Marzia, so glad to have you here.
Thank
Welcome to the
you.
podcast.
Thank you for the
Wow.
invitation. I'm very happy to have this talk with you and
We've
to
known each other
and
for over a year now, and we met in February 2022 online, thanks to Bruno. And
exactly.
I immediately felt that you are my soul family, person, someone who I'm glad to reconnect in this lifetime because I can feel that we have a shared language. So it's just sometimes it's hard. I feel like I connect with you telepathically even deeper, just
Well, it's
because I just feel you.
it's funny that you say that because when you did the questions, I don't remember exactly what questions you did, but they were so straight to the point, and the way you formulate all sentences, I was like, wow, I want to do something with this girl because it's like really powerful. And then you said something like, "What's your intention and what's your no, that was the other time we talk. The project for the future.
Yeah.
Future. How do you see the future? But one of the first questions you did, it was like, how do you? And also, it was very emotional. It was like, how do
Wow.
you feel this? How do you feel? It was something like that. That was like, oh, okay, wow,
Yeah.
nice way to.
Thank you. But for the background, we did have a couple of recordings of our time together on digital before that we haven't shared publicly that could be available if you're interested to see the backstory. But I think they will be available at some point. Now, I've invited you as one of the first guests here. Wow! Energy
Your
is like,
cat?
no, just a crystal just fell down. I don't know why. And like just something. But look, with you again, I believe you call yourself Marte and Spaceship. And let's start with that. Why did you put spaceship in your branding, in your personal branding as an artist? Why
Well,
spaceship?
it was actually the first exhibition I did. It was called the Spaceship Project,
Oh,
and then I took the name from that point.
I see.
And the name was actually thought because it's like I had a personal project since several years since I studied astrology. So one of the most difficult thing for me it was to remember the pattern of the constellations. And so that's it's like when you go to the university, I mean, at least in my time, you had to write on a paper what the teacher was saying,
Yeah.
and so for me it was kind of a same thing. So I had to draw them in order to remember their shape and to be able to recognize them in the sky. So this was one step of my scanography art because I create digital photography using the scanner as a camera, let's say. So then I had to connect something really nice for me and happy to do to something really complicated to remember. So to be able to do it easy in an easy way. And so then I represented the stars and the constellations with the language of art, the language of scanography.
Cool.
And then when I finished this, I started to continue to do this kind of art, to represent astrology and sacred geometry using nature.
Yeah.
And yeah, then that's why I kept the name of the first exhibition because I exhibit the stars and the constellations. And then I continue to work on this topic. So the title of the exhibition
I
continue
see.
with me.
That makes
Yeah, that's
sense. I never asked you this question, so it really comes from my curious zone. Awesome. But then you also like I saw you. I think I talked to you with you light language almost like immediately. Did I? I I think we shared that part a
it was
little bit.
not.
Not verbal.
I do remember. I remember that you every time we meet, you gave me something. The first time we met personally, yes, you gave me
Yeah.
some cards. I had to pick up one.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. I know. That's it.
Yeah.
Just because with you, I felt like of course, like you'll get it, and not because you have an artistic, background, or you're also interested in astrology, but because of the energy that you have around you. It's like your field is so powerful and it's so welcoming. Then it's hard to be anything else but me around you. I feel like I have a permission to completely like undress, with you, and be fully like in my natural space of being. So I wanted to just put it that way, that you're, a very motherly figure, a very feminine. How do you keep it up, or it's like in your blood? Like, is it like being Italian, part of the being Italian, that you're this like amazing woman?
Well,
How do you
well,
develop it?
sometimes I say like it's genetic,
Okay. Yeah.
and but to you, I can tell you, I have Spica conjunction with my ascendant.
What does it
So
mean?
Spica is the most benefic star in the sky, most benefic, and it's connected to fertility. And it's
Okay.
the Virgo. Now we have the moon in Virgo
Yeah,
actually,
yeah, yeah.
but it's like the Virgo has this in English, how you say the trigo.
Like a direction, like a, or no.
No. She. What is the what do you collect in winter, in autumn, at the end of the summer? It's not
Oh
mine.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's
The corpse, the corpse, the
corn,
crops.
crop. Yeah, okay. So she has this,
I see.
and
Yes.
the star that is there,
Yes.
it's a spica, because it's spiga. It's like a symbol of fertility.
I see.
And femininity.
Got it.
And this abundance.
Abundance. Yeah, yeah.
Abundance.
And you
yes.
have that.
So in the ascendant conjunction,
So it means that it's like the most obvious side of you that is like showing up in this reality.
It's benefic. It's a sign, something super. It's benefic. It's something super positive that a person can have. Like the ascendant, it's part of your personality. So I'm really happy that I have this star that helps me out in being like you said, feminine. I associate it to that, but I can tell you sometimes really helps to have like a benefic star. It's like, I think it's that.
Yeah, no, that's really kind of obvious for me, and you can connect it with astrology, but I'm sure you can connect it with your upraising and the way that you've come into being as a like a mature woman. Tell me, why did you move from Italy to Lisbon, or specifically to the area? Because I know that you've lived in. I visited your home, and it's like a very nice area that is. Not super central, but I think it's very up and coming in Lisbon. Why did you choose to live there? You're coming from Milan, right?
I'm coming from. I grew up in Padua.
Okay.
Okay, and but in the countryside.
I see.
And but as everyone, you have this stage when you study and when you're 20, 30, that you want to move in the city because there are more things happening, and then you want to travel and study abroad. So this is what happened. So as a consequences of event from Padua, the countryside, I arrive in Lisbon, where I settled. So when I arrived, I moved.
Lisbon.
I went. Yes.
Got it.
So I studied a bit abroad, like at Erasmus in Amsterdam for a few months, then be there and travel a bit. But then when I visited Lisbon, I decided to settle. Really, it was really small city, but a capital, and really welcoming, and not really modern. So it was really familiar. For me, I felt comfortable, and it was, I liked the environment. There was not too many places to go out at night, like in comparison with now. It was like bubbling, not yet like now, but it was
Yeah.
more than 10 years ago.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah. It was not like this tourist destination like it is now,
no,
or
not
not like
yet.
an expats destination either. It was very up and coming, but you discovered it earlier, and were you able to meet a lot of like local friends immediately, or you were friends with
Yeah,
internationals? How was it
I
for you?
wasn't really integrated in the Italian community at the beginning because I came here and that I knew already a few people.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I went to live with them, and I was part of this huge house with like 3 floors, and we
Cool.
were making parties, like opening the doors of every floor. And yeah, for the first year, it was like a second Erasmus,
Got it.
I wasn't really up to that again, but it happened, and then for 1 year, maybe less. Okay, so
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
like enjoying the city, making new connection, like, and it was most of them Portuguese, some Italians, but then yeah, I was like speaking Portuguese since almost the beginning. It was a
Nice.
bit hard to start, but it was easy because I was surrounded with people
Yeah.
talking that language, which
Yeah.
now is not really
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Now I speak more English now here in
Wow.
Portugal than when I arrived. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, no, like Lisbon has changed so much. Since the first time I visited, that was like 6 years ago, seven, completely different city now. Totally
Yeah.
because of the interest. So why do you think Lisbon is such a popular place right now for generally like digital nomads and like the Web3 community that brought us together specifically? Why do you think it's a hotspot right now?
Well, for what I know, when I ask people that moved here, is because of taxation,
Yeah, it's the
mainly,
first one. Yeah.
which now is changing. So let's see. Then I must say also that the cost of life is not so high.
Yeah.
So if you're from most of the places in Central Europe, and then you need to choose where to go to holiday, and you don't spend a lot of money, then you come here. So also the low cost company, like flight company, had big rule, I believe,
Yeah.
because they made probably more flights. But generally, I think because of taxation, people move here, and because the life is cheaper than other areas in Europe, and the weather is awesome.
So soft,
So,
yes.
I mean, you have wonderful nature,
Yeah.
natural parks, sun, beach, mountains, lakes. I mean, it's beautiful. That's why also I wanted to stay here.
How
So
often do you actually use the benefit of the nature around Lisbon? Like, how often do you go to the ocean or into parks or visit like farms?
okay, well, it depends. Generally, once a month, I take like
Time
a
off.
week off.
Oh,
Yes, a
cool.
weekend,
Yeah.
some days off.
Nice.
Last time was like this weekend.
Yeah. Good.
And here there are nice hiking places to do hiking, to bird watching.
Yeah.
But I live close to the river.
You
So
do? Yeah.
yeah, so it's nice. I just go running if I don't have the opportunity to go to
Such a
outside. But generally,
balanced
yes,
balanced place. It's like a balanced lifestyle is so easily reached there. Yeah, like this, and again, your location, I feel like it's very up and coming. I think a lot of developments will be happening there, simply because it's not so central, but still like very much the city. And I know you have a balcony with all the herbs that you grow. And can
yes.
you tell a little bit about how you got into this herbalism? I guess how did you start?
Well, I did a permaculture course.
Okay,
I really liked plants before.
got it.
Okay, when I
Yeah,
grew up with my mother that liked plants, and I was in countryside. So
yeah,
at one point, you feel the need like to be surrounded with something green. And when I started to live by myself, then I could do whatever I wanted.
yeah.
You know. So yeah, I took some plants, and I like to have eatable plants in my terrace.
Yeah.
And also, but here in the city, probably people don't know too much, but there are a lot of eatable plants.
Yeah.
A lot.
Like for salads, for dressings, right? Like, and or for
Yeah, you
teas.
can eat for salad, but the plants that I collect in the street, sometimes I do, and I'm not really confident with them raw. Okay, so I cook them, but I can make risotto,
Yeah.
and this is a good solution for
Yeah.
like I boil them and then I do the risotto.
They basically clean up and all, like, yeah. It's safer. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's really cool. And I remember you brought me some leaves for the tea. Super
the
nice
salvia.
tea.
Yes,
Salvia,
I have the
yes.
salvia here. So salvia,
Mint,
rosmarino.
rosmarin, yes, I remember. Yes.
And then I got two nice plants now. It was a lady, and she does really. I can send you her link if you want. She does like gatherings once a year.
Cool.
Yeah, for women and to develop also sexuality, women and men, and to don't like to don't feel like censored, and you feel in a environment that is open and welcome, even if your body is not perfect. So she does kind of psychology work. And okay, so I went to visit this lady because we have a friend in common, and she lives in a beautiful, awesome place. Natalia, it's amazing. It's like in the middle of nowhere, and she has these 3-4 houses and
Okay.
nice land, and she grows plants. And with the white stones that you have here, like this lunar kind of lunar landscape.
Oh, wow.
Like feel like in the
Amazing.
moon, but you have
Yeah.
grass.
Yeah.
So you have white stones really rounded,
Nice.
and but then you have grass and cactus.
Yeah. Super
olive.
nice.
Yeah.
And
So
she hosts people there as well, or it's like a day thing.
No, well, I was with friend in common, so I was she
Guest.
was a nice host.
Yeah.
Yes, but I believe also if you give something, she can really welcome you. I mean, I don't know how this works because okay, but anyway. So she welcomed us there, and she had two beautiful plants, and she told me, Marzia, you can keep one. And it was very happy. Yes, so like small plants. I mean, she had a lot. She was growing a lot, and then she told me, "Okay, Marzia, you can keep the plants that you want." And then I choose a salvia, another salvia, which is different.
Oh, interesting.
And then one that is called, the Vixie, the one
no.
for the throat. It's like a medicine that you buy in the pharmacy.
Yeah, it's
They
like
have the plant.
healing the throat ache. Yeah, okay.
It's like a mint, but it's really strong.
Got
and
it.
I didn't know that there was a plant like this. I
Right.
was thinking it was a medicine, but then okay, so I have these two. Now new plants, new arrivals, and yeah, and then oregano and mint, and that grows everywhere. And then now I have some new entry also, like an eatable plant that does really orange flowers like this.
Nice.
In Portuguese, it's called capuchinha.
Okay.
Not sure if okay.
Okay, it's capuchinha.
Okay.
And you can
So
eat the
I have
flowers
them
too.
here.
You can eat the flowers too. Some flowers
Yes.
you can eat. Amazing. So good. But you see, the thing with these plants, they don't really add up in calories, right? They more add up in taste for your meals. So, right?
Like plants, they're like the bit of, like, you can avoid salt if you want.
Yeah. Like supplements, yeah. But also you can use them for teas and for, like making liquid something else than just water. And I really find great magic in herbal teas. And here in Moscow, there's just so many different like herbal tea options, mixes for a variety of different like cases.
Wow, you can mix them.
yeah, and they're already mixed, some of them, so you can like read the ingredients and learn, from that,
Mm.
because it does affect so much a mental state, emotional state. I'm sure energetic, and for sure physical body is transforming as, we intake this medicine. I'm all about natural medicine. I'm sure you are as well. And yeah, I just believe that the world can be so much better if we really transferred completely our lives into natural ways.
Yeah, but I think there are people working for that, so it's just matter of time. I'm
Yeah,
positive.
definitely.
I
Yeah,
see
I
I see
totally
this
see it.
community that are growing more and more. So yeah, it's just a matter of
It's
time.
a
And
movement for sure. What are your dreams for the future? I know we've talked a lot about owning land and having like
Mhm.
actual, spaces for us to cultivate, to grow crops that are, that are edible, that are bigger than just
Mhm.
herbs. What are your visions with that? Like, you can share it, and then within a few months we'll be like, tick,
Let's
done.
well, I don't. I'm still looking for places. So that's the now. Well, the situation looks a bit better. So there are more places popping up. Even and then
Cool.
I continue to travel. Like in my weekends, when I go in the countryside, I continue to discover
Look,
areas
yeah,
that I did. Yes, that I didn't
amazing.
know. Yes, so that's a good thing also. And then I think, okay, it would be nice to live in this area because it's close to this, but it's also quiet. And then you have these nice walks, and there is a river. So it geographically, I'm discovering always more.
Yeah,
And but for the future, the dream for the future, I mean, it's a dream. It's to have the land, to have
yeah,
beautiful land and auto plants, and just stay there, do my life there.
do your life.
So,
Yeah, create your, yeah, like estate, your family
mm-hmm.
estate. Yes, that's it, and it's happening. I see it for you for sure. Very soon, I'm rooting for you that way, and I think I've been saying it a lot. Your place is looking for you as well. So if you energetically start really talking to that location, to the land, the nature in that location, that will be calling you in, and you'll be closer and closer, to that spot. Because imagine how much life's work you'll be putting into that land. So of course that land wants you. It wants to be discovered by you specifically. So this energetic match, it's happening. It's just
Yeah, that's a
patience,
good point. Mm-hmm.
patience and looking. I love how you're like traveling and almost like intuitively looking for it. I was also thinking like not all the locations are up for sale like immediately, or they're like on
Mm-hmm.
the internet, but when you go and look, you really find something that is like a gem, that is yours, that is truly unclaimed in a way by someone who would cultivate it and make something good out of it. There's just so much land. I have a very deep joy remembering, as I say, the future, or thinking about the future,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to do with specifically people like you who are looking forward for their life outside of the cities, and not being like just immersed into technology and all of this AI, Web3, like narratives, but really looking deeper into this grounded approach to what is actually needed to be done by humanity in order to
Mm-hmm.
transition and support ourselves in the upcoming years. But when are you looking into the future? What do you see falling down? Like, what do you see is not working? And what are these aspects of life that you are excited to let go?
Well, I see that like centralization is not going to democracy also
Yeah,
doesn't work.
democracy is expired.
Democracy is like the dictatorship of the most
Okay,
people.
interesting.
Okay. So if you have most of the people convinced that something is is okay, then the others. So I see also that democracy might fall and decentralization might grow,
Define
and which is
decentralization. Yeah, like say what's decentralization to
it's
you?
self organization.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's like I see.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a vision. I don't know. Nobody knows. I think there are visions at the moment and people that are working for something. But my vision is that, like, with all these kind of different currencies that are not attached to a land, to an area, to like a government, they are attached to an idea,
Yeah.
to a concept, to a community. So, okay, we are the community that is going to save this area because of pollution, let's say, or we are going to take care of, I don't know, growing tomatoes in this area and do a permaculture project. So we need foundings in this crypto.
Yeah.
Because, okay, they created a DAO probably with that crypto, and it's just a choice. What is the currency that you want for your project,
Yeah.
for your
Yeah.
community? So I see more like that.
Do you feel that you could sponsor your land with cryptocurrency and with like your artwork, or you like how you feeling that is going to happen, like whether it's going to be fiat or crypto funds, like, or you are looking at both?
At the moment, I'm looking at both. It's like I'm in an environment in which they are both in use.
Yeah.
So,
So you're still
yeah,
paying for something with crypto, like, or do you use it at all?
well, there are not too many places,
Where you
sincerely, but
can.
I think with crypto, we are going to pay more services than physical things.
Interesting.
Because the services is like, okay, imagine an astrology reading. It could be crypto. I'm not doing like at the moment, but it's something that it's it could be considered.
Yeah.
Or like anything that is a service that doesn't need something physical. I believe it can be paid with crypto, and then with the physical money, something that is physical. I don't know. It's just my vision at the moment.
I see you. No, I don't. I never heard anyone else share it before, but it makes a lot of logical sense, to be honest. It's clear. Yeah, it's like.
So imagine, Natalia, if you have your land, and if you have your food, and if you have your water, and if you have your energy, the services are like a kind of plus. So it's just a kind of way that community can communicate and you exchange something with other communities, but you are self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So you're decentralized, and then these crypto are like a way that you exchange services with other communities or other people.
Yeah.
So this is like the vision that I really would like to see in the future.
Yeah. I really hope there will be tools developed to make it actually happen, and it will be an easy ecosystem set up to be able to, just transact in this and in a way that is. I don't know, like, what's wrong right now energetically. I feel like something is missing, and I can't look. I'm just sharing it with you. I didn't really share it publicly before, like, but there's something missing in crypto, and I don't really know. And I felt like this NFT world was really getting us closer to what was missing, but now the hype is kind of like off. And of course, NFT technology is not going to go, and we're still going to be selling like art and or maybe like services connected to what NFTs are. But I feel like something is missing, and maybe it's a good story. Maybe it's a good like onboarding. Maybe it's a kind of a wallet that is not so. It's not always ethereal, like etheric, like it's in your thing, but it's more physical. But it's not like the ledgers or whatever of the world. Like something in between that is not also the phone. I don't know what it is, but I do believe there will be like a backup system to crypto with a physical, some kind of a backup that doesn't have to rely on the internet technology, and it doesn't really have to rely on energy so much. And maybe it will be more about like the networks and the communities that we're a part of, and like this unconditional trust that is set between each other,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can, yes, yeah, there will be like a point system slash like exchange, like tracking based on, you know, who we are, how much we, you know, show up and what we do, kind of like hours we spend with each other. But it will be more of like, hey, I'm gonna pay for you this dinner, and then you pay for me for like, or you're give me a ride to home, like something very like easy and natural. I think that's what's really missing, is understanding of this divine flow of energy and trusting that when you do give out unconditionally, you will receive back in a equal amount or more, simply because you're not engaged in this old system's reality. Does that make sense? I feel like digital and crypto
Yeah.
is still a very old system, even though it's decentralized.
Okay. Well, I think this is going to happen in a world of abundance.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we are already in a world of abundance. Is that is
Yeah.
not well distributed.
Distributed. Yeah, is that.
In the moment that people don't need to fight for the first things like food, energy. I mean, you don't need to be a slave to work 8 hours per day to survive properly. I mean, in the moment that this will not happen anymore, at least at this level, you know, then there will be abundance. I think with easier access, and people don't feel like they are. They're in a position of slavery, and that they need to fight for to have a normal life. So in the moment that this is more equal in general, then we will be able to have a network and exchange without feeling, we're cooperating like with each other without feeling in debt with someone, or feeling that is. I mean, there is abundance for everyone, so there is no need to ask too much to a person, or to be afraid that you cannot give back because it will not be missing.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Tell me more about your like artistic practice, because look, I know that people will go into art more in masses and understand what art is truly, and how therapeutic it is, and how a communication tool it is. Tell a little bit how you got into the art space, from video editing, and what's your practice like these days? I mean, as in today, like what are you working on?
Well, it's a creative process, and also video editing. It's like you create something. So I believe as a human in general, people like to create things, so physically or digitally. So for me to edit was a creative process, like to create a story with images.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of footage, and you need to tell what is happening according to a topic or the direction of the director. So it's like the love of images, the love for images, and for the composition that put me into this path. And well, scanography is something that I practice since 2021, 22, since I got my first scanner.
Yeah.
So then it was like experimenting, you know, as I take objects, body parts, and then I scan them, and then let's see. So it's something that I always practice, like the technique.
Yeah.
Then, like all the arts, you have the technique, like you have the colors, the pencil, the instruments, and then the creative process, like you are in that moment, you are the medium, and you transform the technique into a concept.
Yes.
So that was I started to do like lately. I sometimes I do it. I did it even before. It's like it's just a process. In the moment that you do something, you just create.
Yeah, it's a flow. It has to be. Yeah.
So then it started to get a bit more shape because it had a concept behind.
Yeah.
Like spaceship. So the concept are the stars,
Yeah.
and then I'm like an alien, like it's the symbol when I exchange messages. Sometimes I use the alien, like I'm kind of an alien from above, and I see like the world, like in the stars and the planets, everything moving, and the creating correspondence with the planet, and the plants in that case became my medium.
And crystals as well. Remember that one of my favorite artworks that you're creating is like the crystals one, because I love the crystals so much, because you use the images of crystals that you created or you found, and you put together along with the shapes of the pieces of nature that are more like living and breathing ones. So you really bring that together. It's a natural, inspired, and sacred geometry art.
Nature itself has the sacred geometry.
Yeah.
So it's like a big fractal. So I use the sacred geometry of nature and I put them in a shape of geometric harmony, let's say, symmetry. So also it's like a relaxation for the eye to see them.
And then it rotates sometimes. Yeah. It's a conversation. It's it's like a very calming, very energizing at the same time experience to look at your art. First time I saw it, I'm like, yep. Again, like I just remember you from the future. You did great. You did great with where you're going with it, how your artistic perspective is like developing, and how it's impactful. It's truly impactful to the subconscious, to the unconscious. It's these deepest layers of us. It's conversational, like for us. It's really powerful. But how did you discover the NFT technology? Because you're one of the first NFT artists I've actually met in real life, I think. How did you get in?
Well, it was in the period of restrictions.
Okay.
So I was most of the time in front of the computer, just doing my art, reading, watching, and so I invested, I remember, on Ethereum. And before, like you do, like it was this thing, like invest, but not in Bitcoin, just Ethereum.
Interesting.
I don't know why. It's like now I know the area where I need to find the land. It's a huge area, but I don't know exactly the spot. But I know the name. I'm not gonna tell you.
Cool.
Just private.
Cool. Amazing.
So I need to invest on Ethereum, and I say, okay, but let's see a bit, discover a bit more about these things. I went to visit the website, and I was surprised that in something like really technologic, like, and the website was colorful, full of art, really welcoming, and there was actually a lot of art. Like you could see that the presentation of each page was done by someone that could draw very well, and pieces of art. So I was like, okay, let's look at the author. Let's see who did that, and then let's see then suddenly I discovered his works, and then the network around him. I don't know. Probably there was a piece published in a magazine. I don't know. But I remember that through that name, I got to like this crypto art definition.
I see.
I didn't know that exists the term of crypto art. And at that time, I was working in I wrote a script for a documentary about street art.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And then at the same time, I didn't pass, I couldn't get any financial support for this documentary. But, you need to try and look for people. So it's still there. But at the same time, I discovered like this completely different world. And the funny thing is that when I participate to to ask financial support to the state, to the ICA here in Portugal for the documentary. The reason why they didn't support this topic was justify like, okay, this is a very not old but already spoken, a topic that a lot of people
Cover, yeah.
covered, exactly. But then I was thinking, okay, what are the Portuguese documentaries about street art? I mean, there are a lot of artists, but what is the Portuguese documentary that covers all the last 10 years of street art here? And now the walls are like falling down. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of art. So you need, okay, everything is recorded, but let's find, like something that speaks about everything in general, like a small 2
Yeah,
hours.
that makes sense.
Okay, the reason why it's too covered. And then I said, okay, you know what? If this is too covered, then let's speak about something super new that nobody even
Uncover it.
knows.
Yeah,
Let's,
yeah.
let's do the documentary with this crypto art thing. So I talked to the director and the producer I generally work with. And I mean, for me, it was like a challenge, like they didn't approve this. So what about the crypto art
Yeah, it makes sense.
documentary? And then it was something so new that I had to discover a bit more about it and
Yeah.
to read and to get information. And it was like in 2021 at the beginning, in January 2021. So there was not much information. So I tried to be a crypto artist with my art and to see how it worked.
Yeah, from the inside.
Yeah, from the inside. Yeah.
What
And
was
then
your first minted work? Do you remember?
What?
What was your first minted work?
It was it's like the zodiac. It's the star of, no, it wasn't the star of Aries. It was, then I did was another. The first one was in EOS crypto.
Okay, cool.
It was, I mean, I read like a presentation of a lady about this new platform like Pixios. So I minted the first piece there because I asked for approval, like you need to be, you need to, I say to be, well, anyway,
Like
I need the
established?
approval.
Like established artist or a certain type of artist?
It's not recognized. I don't get the term now. But anyway, they need to, the proof that you are a person. That not you I mean, that you are an
KYC.
artist or the.
KYC is know your customer is like the proof that you are a real person.
No. It wasn't KYC. No, it was simply just you ask, you send your work, and you see, can I mint this? And then they say, okay.
Oh, like approval.
Okay, but
for
it's not like
minting.
you go, it's not like OpenSea that you go there, you
Just
create your profile and
do
you
it.
mint.
Yeah.
Okay. There are like Rarible or Calamint. You need to
Get approved.
yes, just I mean, if they have like kind of language that they want to maintain in their gallery, you
Yeah,
need to
curate a certain vibe. Yeah.
exactly.
So, but you were selected. You were selected in the EOS platform.
Very small platform. They were super nice. They were super fast to answer to me.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know if there was actually a curation because there were really few artists, but yeah, at least there was some. So there, yeah, that was my first.
And then did you create a documentary in the end of the day or not? Because I didn't know that part.
Still experimenting in crypto.
Yeah, maybe the documentary is coming.
Too many things to do.
It's a lot.
Cannot.
Yeah, no, but also a lot of people are a little tired of this topic specifically, and we're trying to take a break, take like the new season, take a time to kind of like refigure out what's next for us in that case. I
Yeah.
think we've all been so burned out by these topics and all these meetups and so
Yeah, exactly.
many
These
ideas,
communities, a lot of communities popping up, and
especially in Lisbon. Yeah, like it's definitely been a hotspot for these Web3 people.
Mhm.
Some of our mutual friends, Italian ones, I'll have to say, are creating like cool meetups. I don't know if they're still doing it, but it's been amazing to
I
see.
don't see her since a while.
Oh, wow.
But she's, I mean, last time I saw one of her posts and she was in Venice. Can't
Last
remember.
time I saw her creating a community in Milan as well, so
Okay.
I guess
Ah,
she's
yes, exactly. She told
okay.
me we exchanged some SMS,
Yeah,
exactly, and she told me that was in Milan, but it was like more than 1 month ago,
yeah.
and she didn't know
What's next?
what. Yeah, exactly. She didn't want to think about coming here, staying there. Like, okay, at the moment I'm doing this. Then let's see.
Yeah, yeah, no, but that's just, again, there's the seasons. I always see things in seasons coming from a fashion world. You have a season for this, you have a season for that. There is a theme for winter, there is a theme for summer.
Yes,
There
yeah,
is just
okay. You have a nice, more organized
yeah, like it's
point of
it's all
view, which
good,
is
it's all balanced,
yeah.
we don't need to
Mm-hmm.
like constantly do because with time we do see a lot of progress in the way that our thinking shifts and yeah, like even with our time together, I think a lot has shifted, a lot has been like shaping up. I think we both became more like relaxed and balanced around that space in terms of like we don't need to like constantly work on our community, create this, like make sure that community is like the first thing because community is created more organically than forced. That's what I'm noticing. People are like
Mm.
coming together in a way that is more energetically based rather than like hype based. When it's coming from a hype based perspective, it moves super quickly and it can fall and fail very quickly as well, and it can fall real hard. That similar thing happened with as we saw with the market, that it was going up and up and up super quick, and then it like fell and crashed.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people who invested in NFTs have lost their money simply because they were investing in the like later time and the markets crashed because of certain circumstances, or rather because of the some organizations were truly a scam organization. And I really see the future where there will be a natural cleanup or clearing, energetic clearing of different companies and organizations in this field, only really living space for pure intentioned organizations and communities. And I really wonder, who's gonna make it, and also who's gonna stay in Lisbon, considering like the laws are changing. Who will find their home there in a longer run, and who will be more like a visitor? I also like, considering myself, like, am I visiting or am I really staying? And I'm still unsure. And like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not easy. Yeah. I just don't want to. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't want to add up to the intense expat takeover of the city, and I don't want to see the city just become like, I don't know, like New York and Dubai, that doesn't really have locals anymore, present, but like most of the people that are just international, and we don't let the locals lead their culture. I remember you invited me to a local festival, neighborhood festival. Remember in June? What was
Mm-hmm.
it called? Bari or something? No, there was some kind of like it was the last
Barrio in
day.
Festa.
Yeah, it was last day, and it was that. It was like so many locals were there. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
were very friendly. Everyone knew each other. Um, yeah, that was exactly like the future I was seeing for Lisbon, is that having these local communities and the neighborhoods supporting each other, and having internationals more of like a support structure rather than the takeover that
Mm.
is happening now. What's your perspective on this? I mean, it's an edgy topic because we're both still internationals, and
Yeah, I'm Portuguese since a few
yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
no. Yeah, no. What I
Officially
see
local.
is, well, I see. Anyway, I can tell you, even if I was very integrated the beginning. Like at the moment, if I see most of my friends are not
Yeah,
from here.
that's I see. Yeah.
So I have friends from Portugal, grow up here, and okay, but most of them are from abroad. That's like me, are here since a few years and decided to stay. So I see that anyway, the community is really protecting
Okay.
itself in a way,
Yeah.
and even if integrates people, they. I mean, it's they anyway. It's difficult, like this kind of event. You need to speak Portuguese.
Yeah, that's it.
To
Yeah.
be able to find it, or at least you need to
Like
to
understand.
be a bit more an insider,
Yeah.
or to have somebody that invites you there, because also the location is hidden.
Yeah.
It's not in the center of the city. Even if it's in the center, it's like up on a hill around the corner. So and it's like all closed with the walls. Beside the fact that inside there is a beautiful area and it's open space, but and it's difficult to find. So you need to know that.
Yeah.
So unless you get really good information or you talk to a local, but I believe a bit like everywhere it's like this.
Yeah, it's like self-curates. It's true. Any fun, interesting upcoming exhibitions, projects for you that you'd like to reflect on that are, emerging? Anything that you're working on that you're excited about?
Yes, I'm working in a lot of things. At the moment, I'm just reorganizing my website in order to get also the new projects there, because I'm experimenting also the digital collage, like integrated with natural elements, but I'm also going on a direction of like not only scanography but digital collage, just to give more information and to make like a piece of art. So beside the symmetry that I want to still respect in my language and the natural side, I want to give a bit of more meaning using other elements that I can find with in magazines or like images online, for instance.
Yeah, and that's like part of something, a bigger project, or like something that is separate, just like a one-off like series of arts.
No, it's well, big. As you know already, I started to do the tarot deck.
Yes, how is this going? It's good. It's good idea.
Paused at the moment because it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, whole language. It's a whole language development.
Yeah, because I have few books. I need to read like 3-4 books. I want to do something that respects the Marseille tarot in all the symbolism. And, so I need to, and then also want to put something of my signature, so I need to be really respectful. I know the meaning, I respect the meaning of the originals. So I need to study before to complete the deck. So it was just a draft.
So exciting. This is so exciting.
Yeah,
it's like a book
beautiful.
coming out.
Every tarot, when I find the images, because I go to the database online of free images, but then I see this face or this eye or this end, and I say, okay, this is that tarot I want. So I have already folders with
different inspirations,
with the images. Yes, that I find that I remember I can associate to a specific tarot. But this is a big project, yeah, it's gonna take a while. So I don't want to, to put all my energy in something at the moment. Know that it's gonna be concluded in months. So I prefer to probably to integrate collage and scanography with 2-3 images that I still have. I have in mind, but let's see.
Are you starting with like major arcana cards or like lower, smaller arcana?
Yeah, the
major.
Yeah, because it's like you need to do the path as like you learn. They are a tool to learn, a tool to access to the great knowledge.
Yeah.
So I believe that I need to study them since the zero.
The zero,
to the
right? The full.
Yes.
Yeah.
So also
Cool.
when I design them, then I can review them, of course. But then the first design, it has to be by order. So I'm doing them by
Yeah.
order.
Amazing.
But I was thinking to do the zodiac like with the digital collage because they are 12. The zodiac is 12. It's easier. It's not 22 with such a deep meaning. Zodiac, I know it already.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I start. I read. It's okay. So it's something easy.
So
more
it would
easy,
be
more
zodiac signed cards, right? It will be cards
kind of
inspired by zodiacs.
cards. Yeah,
And
and then
houses.
and then this pushes me to another idea.
Yeah.
And then there are other people that do like cards, but with this card you can do the reading. Like if you don't know anything about astrology, but you have through a card deck the tools to do a basic reading.
Yeah.
So you
Good.
know the meaning of the moon, and then so you have the card of the moon with the short description of what is the moon, the meaning, that the element, like the ruler is the ruler of Cancer, and the planets that she can have a good aspect to. She's friend to, and the planets that she's not friend
Yeah.
with.
That's it.
So like all the tools that you need to have to read a chart in a card deck.
Amazing. I think it's very useful. I think it would be a very big trend or having physical reference points, tools that are the opposite of like searching for things
This
online.
is a miracle of
Wow.
modern technology.
Sorry, this is a
that
miracle
billions
that
of
we
people
have
now
this.
carry around with them.
I'm
There are
stopping the
four
recording now.
main
It's